Back here on CBS Sports HQ, Hakeem Dermish alongside Joe Musso. Happy NFL schedule release day. The Week 1 schedule is officially here. All 16 games, starting with the season opener in Kansas City, where the reigning Super Bowl champs welcome in the Detroit Lions. And here it is.
Come on.
In all of its glory. It's awesome. It's spectacular. The Week 1 schedule. Lions and Chiefs. Look at this. This is beautiful. Jaguars, Colts, Texans, Ravens, Titans, Saints, Buccaneers, Vikings on CBS, 49ers and Steelers. That's going to be a good one. Bengals and Browns. Give me 1-0 Bengals. I'm just kidding. My team's not beating the Bengals Week 1. Are you kidding me? I love the Browns, but hey, I don't know. It's going to be a tough Week 1 matchup. Carolina and Atlanta. Do we see Bryce Young in Week 1 on the road against Desmond Ridder and the Falcons? Arizona and Washington. Okay. Green Bay and Chicago.
Ever heard of it?
Jordan Love.
Ever heard of it?
And Justin Fields.
Bring me cheese.
Oh, look at AFC West matchup. Raiders and Broncos, Dolphins, Chargers, Rams, Seahawks, Eagles and Patriots. Little Super Bowl 52 rematch there. Cowboys and Giants. I like that Sunday night. And, of course, the Monday night game, the final game of Week 1. Bills and Jets in Aaron Rodgers' gangrene debut. Oh, that is special. That is special. I got
butterflies.
That was like a Christmas delight right there. All right, back here with two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden and CBS Sports NFL analyst Pete Prisco has been covering the league for more than 3 decades here. You look at the schedule, B-Mac. What are your initial thoughts seeing the Week 1 slate? What stands out to you?
Yo, I'm so fired up, man. It feels like I'm going to participate in one of these ball games, and I'll be right with you guys watching and talking about them. But I'm excited, man. These are all big-time ball games for me. You look at even the matchup with Jacksonville and Indy. Pete highlighted this earlier. You talking about potentially seeing Anthony Richardson against Trevor Lawrence. I love that. But I got to go down to my road dogs, man. Pittsburgh, right, at home, the crib, hosting San Francisco, a team that has playoff aspirations, heck, championship aspirations as well. And one thing I know about Pittsburgh, especially during Week 1 opportunities when they're healthy, boy, that's a tough out. So I love that matchup as well. But, man, I have no issue. I'm right there with you guys and everyone that's watching us, man. Looking at these games, it gets me fired up for football right now. Unfortunately, we're in May, and we have to wait until September. That's the issue that I have. Other than that, I'm happy, I'm elated, I'm ready to go.
I love it. I love this Week 1. Week 1 is always one of those weeks where it's so hard to pick games. We all have problems with it. But interestingly enough, there are 6 home dogs to open the season. 6 home dogs in Week 1. You don't usually see that, but the game that stands out to me is Miami at the Chargers. Remember, they played the Chargers last year. That was supposed to be the proving ground couple of games for Tua, and he was going against Justin Herbert. They're always going to be compared to each other because they came out in the same draft, and Tua was picked before Justin Herbert, 1 pick before him. So I want to see it again. Let's see, with Tua being back on the field, recovered from his concussion syndromes, now he goes on the road to open the season against Justin Herbert. I want to see that game because I want to see high-flying offenses go up and down the field.
Remember when you were young, like Christmas season, holiday season?
Oh, yeah.
You'd make the paper mache things and you'd rip one of the rings every year. 119 rings.
Yeah.
Until we get to celebrate some NFL football. It is always a holiday in this household, but as for those observed by the calendar, guys, here's a look at what's coming on the holidays. Let's take a look first at Thanksgiving. A 3-pack that, as we know, always includes the classics. Lions will host the Pack. Boys and the Commanders. Third helping coming in the form of an NFC West rivalry. The Niners and quarterback unknown making the trip up to Seattle. And this year, you better leave room for those leftovers for the first time Black Friday football. We also convene on Christmas, which this year falls on a Monday. 5 of the 6 participants, playoff teams from a season ago. Pete, as always, we will be fortunate to spend the holidays with you. But in terms of how we project these teams, who we think they're going to be, the league really featuring some of their best in these windows. What do you make in terms of keeping the premier teams there on the premier days?
Well, those are the premier days, and those are the days people sit at home and watch games. And if you want to get great ratings, that's when you're going to get them. I mean, you look at these games. Yeah, the Packers and Lions, normally you'd say, wow, that's great, but we don't know what Jordan Love is going to be, but it's still a division game, and we think the Lions are going to be good. I think Washington's going to be significantly better than most people because I think Sam Howell's going to be better than a lot of people give him credit for. That's a talented team, so that's a big division game. 49ers and Seahawks, they're the only two teams in the division. They could be playing for a chance to win it right there. And then you got the Dolphins-Jets on Friday, on the Black Friday game. And again, Aaron Rodgers against Tua. Then you get to Christmas. Look at those teams on Christmas. I mean, the Ravens-49ers is going to be a physical war in San Francisco. And then you look at the Giants and Eagles could be a big division game. I'm not expecting much from the Raiders this year, but it's still the Chiefs. So I love the holiday schedule. And if you look at it from a real practical standpoint, guys, the reason they do this, they want eyeballs on those games. They're going to get them anyways, but you're going to get a lot more if you have the good teams in them.
No, and one thing I know about the holiday schedule, especially Thanksgiving, football fans are just fans of sports in general. It doesn't really matter who's playing. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. It's an opportunity to come and be around family and friends and eat real good, laugh and joke and talk. And guess what? Turn the television on. Oh, we got a ball game. Most people can care less who it is, but that's the one day when you're not necessarily a football fan outside of the Super Bowl. That's the one day where non-football fans watch football all day long. That has been the unwritten rule in regards to NFL, and it will continue to be as such. And I'm right there with you when you talk about Detroit and Green Bay. No Aaron Rodgers, but who knows, by that time, Jordan Love might be a household name. We don't know. And what about Detroit living up to the expectations that everybody is setting for them based on how well they performed last year? So I love everything about what we're seeing Thanksgiving. And one thing about Black Friday, right? For the individuals that are not really understanding this deal, this has never been done before. And I like the game time, because you get an opportunity to eat your leftovers. You get an opportunity to go out and shop and get all the clearance deals and big market deals. And you get a chance to get home in time to catch the 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff between two outstanding teams in Miami and the Jets. So I love everything that the NFL has done in regards to the holiday schedule. And like I said, Thanksgiving, if you're not a football fan, I know one thing you will do on Thanksgiving: watch football.
What are you talking about? Your lovely wife does all the shopping in your family for the holidays. You ain't do no shopping.
That's what I was saying. There's no chance in hell you go out for deals, B-Mac. Zero.
I'm like Pete right now. I don't like going and being amongst all the people in stores. If I'm gonna do any shopping, online is my thing to do.
We only see him waist up. Those are stretchy pants days. Those are stretchy pants holidays. We get the work done in some stretchy pants. I'll be right there with you, Mac.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. No, B-Mac does some shopping. He shops for the food with ketchup on it. It's amazing. You put ketchup on everything. Put some ketchup on your holiday schedule release special here as well. We talked about, instead of getting a Super Bowl 57 rematch in Week 1, we get a Super Bowl 52 rematch. Eagles visiting the Patriots, a much better ending for Philadelphia fans, but it'll be a tough road back to get to the big game for the Eagles. They've got the toughest schedule in the league based on their opponent's 2022 win percentage, and history is also against them. The NFC East has gone 18 straight seasons without a repeat champ, the longest such streak by division in NFL history, and the Eagles were actually the last to do so in terms of repeating. Pete, what's your outlook for the Eagles this year?
I think they're the Super Bowl favorite in the NFC. I think they're the class of the NFC, and I think everybody's chasing the Eagles. I mean, yeah, the schedule's tough. Right now, we look at these schedules and we always put strength of schedule. Look how tough it is. And then we look back in early December and we say, well, maybe that schedule wasn't as tough as we thought it was, because things don't always play out the way we think they're going to play out. I can tell you that from experience. Every year I put 10 teams in my top 10 in the power rankings. Then at the last week of the season, go back and look and see how many I got wrong. And by the way, I was wrong, and most everybody else was too, because we have no idea how this thing plays out. And that's the greatness of the NFL. So I don't put as much credence in winning, schedules that are favorable right now in terms of win-loss percentage, that kind of thing. How do you navigate it? I think that's the thing to look at, is where are your road games? When are they? How many are in a row? That type of thing. That's more important for me. But the Eagles are the class class of the NFC. I think they're the favorite by far in the NFC, and they should be. And everybody's chasing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, we are bookended by birds here. Flip side of the coin, Atlanta drawing the easiest schedule. Middle of the road when it comes to miles traveled as well. Second easiest schedule belonging to the Saints. I only offer that because it sort of goes to show that the NFC South really up for grabs. Maybe a dearth in talent. Mac, does this provide the ATLians with some hope, or are we grasping at straws? Do you agree with Pete that we maybe make a little bit too much about strength of schedule at this point of the year?
Yeah, I mean, for the Atlanta Falcons, you have to like your chances because let's go back to a year ago, right? Arthur Smith did a lot with less. You know what I mean? He did more with less based on the roster and the turnover at the quarterback position, eventually starting your rookie quarterback in Desmond Ridder. But then you have to look at how wide open their division is alone. I mean, any team, I won't say any team because I have no faith right now too much in Tampa. But outside of that, it's wide open. You talk about the uncertainties at the quarterback position for every team not named the New Orleans Saints. You have to like those chances. And then you talk about starting week 1 at home in the Mercedes-Benz Dome against potentially a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. So, yes, they won 7 games last year. Surprised everybody. If you remember going into the month of December, they were still in playoff conversations. How? I do not know. I do believe this roster is better on both sides of the football. So I think if they just take care of their business week in and week out, especially against the teams in the division, Tampa Bay, that's a winnable ball game. Carolina, that's a winnable ball game. And even though the New Orleans Saints, they have Derek Carr, we know these teams oftentimes split. And I don't really have a lot of faith in Dennis Allen as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. So I can easily see 9 to 10 wins for the Atlanta Falcons because if they won 7 ball games last year with that roster, clearly we should see an increase in wins, knowing the roster is better. But at the end of the day, it's all about Desmond Ridder. If he does what he's supposed to do, they should be fine.
That's the Mad Lib of the day right there. I could easily see fill-in number, that many wins for fill-in team. It's beautiful. It's hope.
I'm looking forward to Bijan Robinson debut.
Yeah.
Give him the football. I like Desmond Ridder. I don't need much. Just please hand the football to Bijan. Let him cook.
It is going to be a blast to watch it all go down, fellas. We appreciate you weighing in here on some of the top and bottom. And when we return, we take a look at primetime trends, including the bright lights of Broadway. Well, the Turnpike. Mere details. We dig into them all next on CBS Sports HQ.